Alright, so I'm going to try to do this as evenly, fair, whatever you want to say, as I possibly can. Um, I'm like anything in the world, but especially when it comes to wrestling. Um, it's really handled, I mean, it could be in three ways, but if you really are going to really either get the one extreme side where something where it's like, boo, this sucked, this dumb, this stupid, uh, and where it's like the nuance for that is really outrageous in a way that's kind of like, okay, just tell me you just don't like the person kind of way. And then on the other side, we have where people go so opposite of the way where it's like it's so like maybe like ridiculous or nasty or very like vicious here that they sugarcoat it too much and or they try to talk about it in such a lighthearted tone that's like where it's like the nuance there is like everything's fine, why can't we all get along kind of way, where it's like then that also defeats the point of also any type of talking on this side as well too, when it's just like they're all doing their best and it's like okay cool, but that they're all doing their best, so but how do we talk about these other things and compare them, but we also don't have to go in crazy attack. In saying that, I was like, we're talking about Becky Lynch here. So, and you know, I already stated in my Raw review that if I knew that she was going to be in the Battle Royal, I would have said that she was going to win. But it didn't seem like nobody really knew she was going to be in here in this. And I said the point basically being like she's reliable, she's safe. I was like, I seen some other people, and I was like, I agree with this. That it's like I was like, if you like her star is already there, where you're losing Rhea, that's a big star in itself. So it makes sense to also go with a big star than someone unknown of the younger talent that's there. But also too, I was like, you always get good to great matches out of her. Um, I was like, so it's like she checks all the boxes. No, even no matter and that's where it goes to the extreme side where it's like even if you don't like her, which that's fine, but to say that she, where you can't respect, that's a little different. Um, and so that's why I would assume that she would have won, which she did, of course. But that then causes the discord, especially like going on Twitter, X, whatever. People were saying like, oh, it's not a new era when she's won again, and then they like also show like Bailey where it's like, oh my god, it's still like the old guard thing, or she's over here being like the whole Hogan of things or the Cena of things, which I actually do sort of think that it is the Cena of thing. I wouldn't say like the Hogan of thing, but the Cena of things is where to me where I'm like she wins low, she's super Becky, and I do agree with that in a lot of ways, but at the same time, they're like, like she doesn't put any women over, she and all this other stuff, and I was like, I think it's really difficult at some like just let's just talk about like just the Becky part of it is that I think it's really hard for when you've been around a really long time to one stay relevant, and I was like, and also learn how to get yours while also helping out others. Because it's like I don't think that is I don't think that's Becky. To me, if anything proved this year or the last like couple years with her and Bailey, if you want to, and Charlotte, if you want to actually say anything, is that look at a lot of their matches. It's like, yes, have they won or they do win the title? It's like, yeah, they're still at the top of their game. They're still at the top. I was like, but at the same time, I mean, not Charlotte, but Becky, and you can even throw Bailey in there because I was like, this sort of became a little bit of that conversation too. Haven't had the main title in like 2 years, but that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be in the program. They're still like top people. But I was like, but at the same time, it's like there's still big attractions. There's still the women, and I was like, I'll also say that I don't think yet the women have caught up to like there's a good crop of women like bubbling up to the surface, but at the same time I was like, the reason why like only though like out of like the young ones that's been here lately, it's been Rhea, Bianca, Io, and I was like, you've seen actually that was the group that was coming up next. But if you think about it, Becky, I was like, she had that thing against Bianca, but that was a Vince thing, and she basically then she beat Becky later on to get her match back. She just lost to Rhea. She had the whole NXT title for a while where she put on what she, because I was like, this is the thing where I'm like, it's like, yes, she has the title, but if you think about what she was doing, she was using her stardom to put other women at the spot. Where it was Tegan Knox, Xia Li, who just got released, but had that really cool couple weeks with her. I was like, Valkyria that's in NXT right now. She gave Indy Hartwell a shot. She put women on that wasn't getting TV time or was really brand new. I was like, she had the whole thing where she had with Trish, but that was like Zoe was involved, and that helped out in the same way. Um, I was like, I even think that like I was like Nia Jax. I was like, who went on the top like a tear going on. It's like Becky helped that because of their whole story in the past about how she got the bloody face. Like that was a storyline where, and it's like, guess what? The first match she was able to beat Becky and blooded her up, and then Becky got her leg back in the last woman standing match. But they're still like they're only 1-1. So I was like, so I was like, if there was anything also, I was like, what I'll get to basically like Becky, why it was, I can see why it's bad and why it's good, but we're really talking about why there isn't. That's the extremes. Now I was like, I've seen all the discord of like people trying to defend the case, as I was like I did as well too, of like her getting it. Would I have liked somebody else? Yes, but I don't have a problem with this because I can also understand it. And but also the fact that as people are just the part where it's like, because I haven't heard, I was like I haven't seen like other people's reactions and videos of defending her, because I was like I don't really feel like that's not, it's not as interesting to me because because of like, because this is so out, it is so out like landish and stuff on this side of like I'd rather you just tell me I wish I'm sort of gonna say it's like I'd rather you tell me who'd you rather put it on, or it's like I wish this person would have got it and you could have just left it at that, than basically saying like oh, this person is sabotaging the women, stuff like that. When I'm like, if anything, it's been proven that she has helped more than anything, especially here lately. I was like the thing is, Becky, I think, is getting sort of the treatment that people would throw at Charlotte, but Charlotte hadn't been around for like a while, and she was sort of what Bianca was doing, the damage control thing, but not, but she hadn't fully been. But I was like, that's how I feel like people are really, what they're really trying to say about Becky, what they even say about Charlotte. Um, which I feel like you have more of a gripe and complaint with her, not to throw her in it and her get strayed, than Becky. But I'll also put it out. I'm like, I feel like here in these later couple of years that Charlotte has done, it's like as well too, of like she takes the championship, but if you think about some of the time that she changed the championship, and the same thing with Becky as well too, is that look at when they take the championship. It's either like a middling feud. I was like, like with Becky, it's been some injuries, or it's to be basically the person that like you have the status. Somebody else beats you that, and I was like, they get the rub off that. That basically like how we thought of like what Gunther was and who we wanted to beat Gunther. Like, there's a reason why a lot of people wanted Chad or somebody else than Sammy, just because we thought Sammy was already at this elevation in a way that, like, while yes, it gives something to Sammy, but it doesn't give the same thing to somebody of who hadn't been in none of those positions. So that's why I think Becky having this is that basically think about what she did with the NXT title, and that's what she's going to do with this title. I think it's just basically like all those women is going to basically now be in that spot of like where she's going to be the one to be like, I'm gonna do some open challenges along with my pay-per-view matches. Now, I was like, um, I was like, I was like, I was gonna say, I was like, pros and cons of her winning. I could do it in a separate video, but I was like, I'll just do it here. I was like the con. I was like, Nia Jax was like there to be a champion, and I don't know if they're ever going to really give her the championship, to be honest. And I think that's sort of that. If that to me, that's a big case. I was like, or just giving us a good surprise of somebody else that could win it, that maybe the like gets the boost of having the title, where it's like they're now they're on TV more, we get to hear them talk more. I was like, maybe they get to show off more of their skills. To me, that would have been like maybe a Chelsea, or I feel like a Zoe Stark. You could have like rebooted Shayna, because that's like, you know, how Triple H had, and I was like, give her the run. And I was like, there's a couple people there that's as fodder. Liv doesn't need it because her story is getting the championship. Whether that's through Becky or just getting it right before Rhea comes back, whatever, that's her story. She doesn't need the title. The pros though is Liv gets to keep having her story. If you want to do Nia and Becky 3, where say Nia beats her officially, or Becky just puts the feud to bed, you got that, and that's a big time match. Uh, Becky basically putting over all the other women that's going to have a chance. Guess what? She had that little pep talk with Maxine Dupree. You don't think Maxine Dupree is going to get a title shot? That's crazy. She's going to get a title shot. And yes, she's going to lose, but Becky's going to try to make her look like $1,000,000 to show like Maxine is here and she has improved. Ivy Niles, another person that got a lot of potential that you like, oh, okay, cool. Becky and Zoe done already had stuff. Becky and Shayna done had a lot of stuff. Uh, so I'm like, she already got some storylines with people. I'm like, Tegan Knox, who I didn't even see in this battle. I was like, I don't remember seeing in this battle royal, but I was like, that was the first person to step up to her. So I'm like, I was like, I think for the cons that there is really more just our fan perspective, but the pros from it, I think is beneficial for everybody in the long haul. And then I was like, we'll see how long she keeps it or whatever like that. Cause I thought she was gonna go on vacation, especially, you know, Seth's gonna be out a while too and stuff like that. So we'll see how long this happens. But the injury changed it and stuff like that, and that's also why I'm like, why Becky getting so flat when it's an injury that happened. If she came back and then she had a match with Rhea at Backlash and won it, that would be ridiculous. That would be the ridiculous part. Not an injury where you just having to do stuff on the fly, and they probably just had to call in a favor as well too. But anyway, that's basically all I feel about of like the talk that had to be with her. Gave my little like part about it, and also a little bit of the reason why I feel like it's a good reasoning for her to do it. I would have liked somebody else, but I'm fine with this. But I'm fine with this as well because I know that it can still happen with all that other stuff as well, and it might actually be better in the long run. Anyway, uh, yeah, I was like, everybody need to chill out because you can have extremes on. I was like, even though we say that's an extreme, it is on this side sometimes too. I was like, but I don't. I disagree with this side more. This is just outrageous side, just for anybody that knows. But anyway, till next time, peace.